chart, and I open it up, and it's a woman, and it's her like third.
Yep, that's what we're going to talk about right now. Right now. So YouTube, my name is Charles, and man, I just started watching this video, and it has shown up previously. Not that video, but this thing about women going to the doctors, and they're having all these problems, right? And nobody seems to know what is going on. And in this video that I'm just watching here, it's on YouTube. It's one of those like short things. So I assume it comes from TikTok or something. But it's from Katie Couric. How do you say her name? Couric. And she's having this interview with Dr. Mary Claire Haver. Haver. And apparently Dr. Mary Claire wrote this paper. And I didn't get through the whole video because I started having this visceral effect, right? Like my whole inside started like shaking, and I started being like pissed off about the whole thing, which could very well be because I'm an empath, but it is more a problem that I am not a fan of Western medicine. I'm just not. And they just do not understand. They don't understand homeopathy. They don't understand that your body is trying to talk to you, even if you don't see something. Because this one was like, "Oh, you have a whiny woman, right? WW," and she goes on to explain how this thing could be, different cultures, different parts of the country may have different names for this, right? Like the hysterical woman, and fucking pissing me off. It's like pissing me off. It's pissing me off, and I don't know why it's like so deep inside of me like that, but it just is. Could be because of gender fluid, so like that goes back and forth like that. But whatever. But I'm so caught up in all of that like agitation that it's being difficult to get to the point. So your body is trying to speak to you, and so let's get to that. There's a spiritual cause for every illness, right? And Western medicine, they're going to try to treat the symptoms. They're going to try to give you medicine for that thing that's going on, right? And I should also say, sorry for not being here for a while. I was in a big thing about like what am I going to do as far as my videos are concerned, everything like that, and but this came up, and I'm like, oh, I got to deal with this. So anyway, we'll see. So anyway, there's a spiritual cause for every illness, and so when you're looking at your body and different parts of your body are in distress, say, right? So you look at that part of the body and what is that doing, right? Like your hands are how you hold on to things, right? Holding on to things, letting go, holding on, letting go, right? So, and like arthritis is related to criticism, right? So if you're trying to hold on to things, right, it's you're going to have like problems in your hands, right? I find the wrists have to do with like when, because things come in from the left hand side, they go out through the right, right? So if you're having these like aches, right, anywhere on your left side of the body, things come in from the left side, they go out through the right. So if you're having any kind of issues on the left hand side of the body, right, it means that things are trying to come in, right? And if you're having aches, pains, drama, a break, something, whatever, right, it's like you're resisting something new coming in, or resisting a problem that's trying to come in rather than let it like flow through, right? You're like, no, no, no. The face, right? I just caught that on camera. Yeah, it's like you're resisting all of this thing that's trying to come in. And it can be something positive or it can be something negative, right? If it's something positive, sometimes it's like more something positive trying to come in, right? It's like, oh, I'm trying to maintain the status quo, right? And like trying to make everything be calm and all that, right? But this new thing is going to come in and it's going to disrupt my flow, right? It's gonna dysregulate me. So gotta shut my phone off because people are trying to like, talk, whatever. So yeah. So, and if it's like, if it's something positive, it means like your world is trying to change, right, for the better, not for something worse, right? And but if you're if you're like me, right, it's like if you're kind of a control freak, maybe type A personality, something, whatever, where it's like, I don't want to change, I want to, like, there's nothing wrong with this, it's like, right, but it's like the spirit is causing you to ascend, they want you to do something more, they want you to do something different, they want you to evolve, right? And so there's something new, something positive trying to come into your life, right? But then it's like, oh, you have to deal with different people, I have to learn something new. It's like, I don't want to go through all the process of all of that, right? But it's like, got to do it anyway, right? If it's something negative kind of come in, it's like, oh, I want to be in denial. That's not really happening, right? It's like, not my problem. Like, I didn't do it, whatever. Like, I want to be in denial about all that, right? But it's still going to be this thing that can upset your world, right? Because you have to, it's like, you have to be responsible for whatever it is coming, right? And if it's on the right side and something is trying to leave and you're still trying to hold on to it, right, then you're going to have, maybe it's a relationship, right? Maybe it is a job, maybe it's something, whatever, right? Something's trying to leave and you don't want it to go, right? But it's something that, you don't want to deal with the grieving process around the whole thing. But it's still about trying to maintain the status quo, right? I want everything to be the same. And so if something is happening on the right hand side of the body, it's like, let it go. Think about what is trying to be let go of, right? So I kind of sit and meditate, be in the real world, right? Stop trying to be in denial about stuff, right? What is it that's trying to leave, right? And especially if it is something, this is going to be weird, right? But especially if it's something that's happening with your thumb, right? Because your thumb is all about like trying to control things, right? So your thumb is directly related to like your ego. So I don't know why, I don't make the rules, that's just what it is, right? Anything to do with your joints, right? It has to do with choices, right? Your throat is like yes, no, right? It's like it has to do with something, it has to do with your voice, right? it's a connection between your head and your heart, right? So if your head and your heart are not in balance, right, you could get like laryngitis, you could get, whatever, things like that. The shoulders are like weight of the world pressure, right? I find things connected to between the shoulder blades are like things that are trying to move you forward, like whether they're like your family, whether they're society, whatever. It's like go forward, go forward. It's like, and no, like I don't want to. Right? You may have to deal with the people, right? Tell them to shut up, right? Or you may have to just move forward. It's about getting out of your comfort zone, right? Headaches are generally related to like new ideas, new spiritual kind of information coming in, right? Because your crown chakra up here is related to it's your connection to spirit, right? Depending upon where the headache is or something like that. If you're having like these things and you're in here, this is your third eye, right? It's like your vision. It's like creative vision, right? And it's like, and sometimes you get headaches here if you're like thinking about a problem too much. Oh, let me sort this out. Let me sort this out. Like people who are really smart and they're like studying a lot, right? And let me study, right? They're gonna get like headaches here because they're putting too much mental energy into something. So you need to kind of take a break, right? And what else do we have? Your heart obviously is about anything related to your emotions, especially like if you're an empath, if you feel what other people feel, right? If you're an empath, or empaths, I did 2 whole videos on being an empath, right? Look them up. What does it mean to be an empath? It's 2 hours, right? People think an empath is just feeling what other people feel and whatever. It's not. It's a whole thing, and that's why I ended up doing 2 hours, two separate videos. An empath is somebody that feels things coming, right? Feels things from other people, but feels things coming from the future, right? Oh, this thing is getting ready to happen. What's that all about? And so that can be connected to like your heart is how you connect empathically, right? So there's that. And people who get like hunchback, like their shoulders close in on them, those are people who don't want to feel anything, right? They're in like so much pain, right? They've had like a lot of a lot of painful relationships, a lot of loss, disappointment. Like I can't deal with it anymore, right? They're gonna start doing this like hunching thing like that. Anything in the front of the body is what's in the future. Anything in the back of the body is related to the past, right? And the lower on the back, the further in the past. The lower back can also be related to money and finances, because that's related to like the root chakra, the first chakra, which is all about like your money, your finances, like your home, security, all that kind of stuff, right? People go blind because they don't want to see things. People go deaf because they don't want to hear things. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. My mother did that. So she didn't want to hear anything. But yeah, people go blind because they don't want to see things. They don't want to see the truth, right? All that. Your hips have to do with the balance between your male side and the male side and the female side. Everybody has a male and a female side, right? Your creative side and your masculine, your aggressive side, right? A lot of people who are bisexual, they have trouble with their hips, right? Because it's a male side, it's a female side. What am I doing, right? So, but that's the hips. The legs have to do with how you're moving forward. The knees are how you're supporting yourself. The ankles are related to fun, right? A lot of times, if you haven't been having fun, and then you go out and you try to have fun, then that's when you hurt your ankle, right? That's because like you're uncomfortable having the fun, right? But if you're having fun anyway, right, then that's probably not going to happen. Your feet have to do with where you are in the world, right? And but your legs in general have to do with how you're moving forward. So I just had an accident recently and like messed up my knees because like I'm trying to support myself differently and I don't want to do it, right? My left knee, something new is trying to happen. I don't want to do it. Right? And it didn't hit me until really like recently that that's what that is. And there's a lot of stress related to all of that, but I have to allow the thing to come in. I've been resistant because it's going to mean change, right? So there's all of that. The right knee got damaged too, but way not as much as like the right. So yeah. So when you're looking at the different organs in the body, right? Even if they're not finding something, right? Even if there's like a hormone that would suggest that maybe there's something with this part of your body going on, right? So if you're a woman or a man, anybody, right, going into the doctors, like I'm making this video more so directed at like women, because of this like fucking video. Sorry, not sorry. If you're having these issues and then these doctors are telling you, oh, there's nothing wrong, you're just being hysterical, right? Like, look at the part of your body that is having the issue, right? Where you're having the symptom, right? And then look at what that part of the body does. And if you look at what that part of the body does, then it will give you a clue about what it is that's happening in your life that needs some sort of an adjustment, that's calling for your attention, right? Is it your stomach, right? Your stomach is how you're being fed, right? Like weight, like I have issues with my weight, right? That is about fear, letting people in, whatever. So, and as an empath, I have difficulty around crowds and like new people in general and all of that stuff. But that is trying to change. So I'm actually in the process of losing weight. So there you go. So there's all of that. But yeah. If you are one of these people, if you're one of these women, right, that they are saying you're just being hysterical, I started writing this comment, right? And I'm like, you know what? Like, fuck this. I'm just going to do this video because it's going to be much easier to get it all out and attempt to be more precise. But, I have ADHD, so I tend to be all over the place anyway. I started writing that it's about having a nervous breakdown, right? Which is why they're probably going to say, oh, like she's hysterical, she's going to have a nervous breakdown. And it is a nervous breakdown, right? It is, right? But not in the way that they're saying it is, right? It's because there's like overstimulation happening, right? It's like your whole body trying to respond to the things that are going on around you, right? Your whole body is in distress because there's a lot of stress going on around you, and it's telling you that it's like the alarm's going off, right? And it means that like there's something going on in your life that you really need to be addressing, right? And it's not necessarily physical, but it's something that could be causing physical harm, right? A lot of times when I'm doing a reading, the Ten of Swords will show up, right? Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords, Eight of Swords. High swords are things that can, when you see them, just in general, it can say that, oh, you're going to have to do something, because if you don't, it could lead to hospitalization, right? So, now you're this woman, you're in hysterics, and you're seeing the doctor, right? Hello, right? It means that there's a lot of stress going on around you. Your body is signaling these alarms, right? That that you need to make a drastic change in your life, right? It could be your relationship, it could be your job, right? I see a lot of people that the Ten of Swords, Nine of Swords shows up around their job, right? And that usually is an implication. It's usually implying that that you may have to leave your job, because if you don't, your job is making you sick, right? You're in a toxic, it's toxicity, right? You're either in a toxic relationship, and it doesn't necessarily mean with a husband, right? It could be with your family, right? It could be your work, right? I would be looking at where are the toxic relationships in your life that you need to end now, right? Like do not pass go, do not collect $200, do something now, right? Because your body's alarms are kind of going off in a really big way. Right? So you may not have to be at a doctor, but you do have to, if you're in that video, right, they're calling it a WW, right, a whining woman, right? If you're whining about something, right, if that's what that is, right, I'm just calling it what they're calling it, right? If that's you, right, that is symptomatic that there is something off and you need to be doing something about it, right? Do not wait for somebody else to change, because they're probably not. You could be in a place where you're being gaslighted, right? Could be a relationship, could be your parents, could be your job, right? Whoever it is, doesn't matter where it's coming from, right? Your body is signaling alarms that say you need to be doing something, and you need to be doing something now. Right? It's you need to be listening to yourself, not to whoever these other people are, right? I just got done with a reading, and I was telling this person, journaling is a good thing, right? Journal, there's a book, I tell a lot of people about this. I don't know whether they buy it or not, whatever. I could be making a lot of sales for this person. It's called The Artist's Way, ARTIST, Artist's Way. It's by Julie Cameron. And it's about how to have a creative life. There are different exercises in it that help you to have a creative life. This one section is about journaling, and it's about getting rid of the censor, right? The censor is a thing that tells you, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that, right? And that censor could be a person in your life, right? Whether they're alive or dead, right? That, has told you that you can't do this or you shouldn't do this, right? Whoever the gaslighting people are, right? So I always recommend doing this journaling. And I really have to get back to it myself. It's been coming up a lot lately, so it's time for me to be doing it again. I do it, I stop. I do it, I stop it. I have many, many journals over the years, and it helps you to get to the bottom of things, right? And I'm not talking about just, you can try you can try to make the writing be nice, neat, pretty, but that's not what this is about, right? That's not what it's about. You will find that the writing is going to get messy because feelings are going to come up. Right? And usually, if you're at this point, right, where you're at the doctors and all this stuff is going, there's going to be a lot of anger and probably rage that's going to come out, right? Because I tell people all the time, like, I do not believe in depression. They're like, oh, depression is a real thing. I'm like, no. It's not depression. It's called oppression, right? It's like people telling you, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that, right? It's like, why? Why? Because you're a woman? Why? Because you're like, whatever the thing is, right? Why? If you want to do something, go fucking do it. Sorry. Go and do it, right? Figure out how you're going to do it, right? I'm a Virgo. We're utilitarian. I will figure it out. I will Mickey Mouse something together. I will make it happen. Whatever, right? Whether you have to go to school, whether you have to, whatever it is you got to do, right? But figure out how you're going to do it. Make a plan, right? This journaling thing will help you make a plan. It's very weird. Little like story time. I was living with somebody. Just called him. I was living with my mate at the time. He was a controlling ass, and I didn't want him to know what I was writing about, and I was very clear about that with like spirit, and so I was channeling. I was writing all this stuff. There ended up not being any vowels. There were no vowels, but I could read. I could tell what was being written, right? Because it all had to come out, and so there'll be a way, you know. Don't worry about who's going to see it or not see it, right? It's for you, right? Write it and then burn it if you have to, if you want to, whatever. Put it in the garbage disposal, something, whatever. However you need to get it done, right? But do the journaling, right? Because it will help you to see what it is that it'll help you to see what you don't want to see, right? It will get to the point, and it may take a couple of times, right? But this is not about like, oh, I'm having this trouble with this, and I'm having this trouble with that, and blah blah blah. It's not like logical, right? It's like stream of consciousness writing, right? You can start at the top of the page, like, why am I having this problem, right? And then whatever it is that comes next, that's what you write, right? Whatever it is that comes next, right? And do not be afraid, right? Do not be afraid. Just like whatever it is that comes into your head, put it on the paper, right? This is also really good for like people who have like writer's block, right? If you don't know what to write, what am I going to write? I don't know what to write. He said write this, and it's like so stupid and blah blah. Like, write that on the paper, right? He said to write this, and I feel so stupid, and like I'm self-conscious about this, and blah 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 blah, right? But 3 pages a day, right? At least. And if you're gonna like cheat and use like a small notebook, right, then maybe you'll end up doing like 5 or 6 pages. I've had notebooks like this, small notebooks. This is 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, medium size. I've written like 10 pages in there. So, because the stuff, once you start, it'll just flow, right? Especially if you have a lot of pent up stuff going on. If you have a lot of pent up stuff going on, you may not stop writing. You may never stop. Kidding. But you'll see once it starts coming out and all the anger starts coming out, right? And the idea is not to hold on to the anger, right? The idea is to let the anger go, so then you can start doing something, right? But like, do not become one of those people, like, I'm not saying just women, I'm saying like anybody, right? Do not be one of those people who are just like angry at the world, right? The idea of this is to let go of the anger and learning how to love yourself, right? Because the anger, if you're in this place where you're like just hold, oh, I'm so pissed at this person, I'm so pissed at that person, and I'm so pissed at these people, right? Um, some people are like, oh, these men, they're such misogynists, right? But then there are women who are the misandrous people, and I'm more of a misanthrope, right? I'm not a fan of really anybody, but um, I try to care about people, but whatever. Anyway, I'm letting go. I'm letting go of a lot of it. I really am. I've been doing a lot about letting go of like trauma and stuff like that from my body. Um, from the I've been doing a lot of Reiki on myself to let go of like to clear trauma out of the neural pathways. It's a whole thing that I've been doing with myself. In case you don't know, like I do work as a psychic, but I also am a Reiki master, so I do that as well. I've been working as a psychic since about 1992, 92, 93, probably 93. I've been working as a professional psychic, and I've been working as a Reiki master since about 1995. So I've been doing that a long time. And I do Reiki in person. I can do Reiki distance. I have clients all over the country, basically. And so if that's something you're interested in, you can let me know about that. Um, but yeah, I've done a lot of Reiki to kind of let go of the trauma out of my neural pathways. Right? People say that I have complex PTSD, right? And people say, oh, if you have like, see, PTSD, that's not really something that goes away, but that's what they say. I don't really believe what they say. Um, but I've been doing a lot of Reiki to kind of clear the neural pathways because when you have trauma, right, which, hello, if you have this nervous breakdown thing, right, then you probably have some sort of trauma going on, right? So this is me. I can feel the stress coming out, right? As I'm talking about this, I can feel the stress coming out. So this is me wiping the stress off of my arms, right? I can feel it coming. I can feel it like flowing, and I can feel it coming up out of my body and through my heart. And I do a lot of like decompression. When you have PTSD, when you have CPTSD, like you forget to breathe, right? It's supposed to be an automatic thing. It's not. Doctors, right? They say it's an automatic thing, but it's not. Not always. Not when you have like trauma. So yeah, you can forget to breathe. You can be so stressed out that you forget to breathe. You know, or your body forgets that you like seize, right? So it can happen. I was meditating one time, and Spirit had told me like practice patience while you're practicing patience. If you're someone that's usually stressed out, right? Patience is not really going to be one of your virtues, right? But you can try to practice patience, right? But it can just get you like more agitated, which is why Spirit told me to practice patience while you're practicing patience. So yeah, so do that, and like practice breathing, right? You would think that it would be an automatic thing, right? But it's not. Right? Take time and just practice breathing. I'll show you. I bought this thing. Right? this part opens and closes, right? You can close it and it cuts it off, and then you open it, and it helps you. It's a respiratory trainer. It's a respiratory trainer, and I bought it online. I started an ad, and it helps you to breathe through like stressful kinds of situations, right? And my brother said, you can't swim, you're too fat, you're gonna drown. I'm like, no, I'm not. Because first of all, because I'm losing weight. Second of all, because I'm like doing this. I'm actually a really good swimmer. So, what does he know? So anyway, I would get one of these things, a respiratory trainer. Right? Just practice with that. If you have anxiety, right? Like I have the doctors, right? They said that I have an anxiety disorder. It's called being an empath. That's what it's called. That's what the problem is, right? Is that I'm an empath. It's a blessing and a curse, right? I was talking to another client. I told her to get one of these things too. If you have a breathing problem and they're not sure where it's coming from, right? Like I've had x-rays done. I've had like ultrasound done, right? There's nothing really wrong with my lungs, right? And there's nothing really wrong with my heart, right? Not really. Nothing that should be causing this like breathing thing. It's stress. It's stress from the world. That's what it is, right? It's the anxiety that I have about the world, right? About the state of the world that we're in and stuff like that. But it's been going on forever, right? I've been having an existential crisis my whole life. Right? How am I supposed to be in the world? How am I supposed to be? Like I have to be this for this person, I have to be that for that person, I have to be this for this person, right? And like, how do I be the real me? Right? And so like if you are that person, right, you're gonna have stress. Right? The idea is to stop people pleasing. Right? That's where it comes from. Stop people pleasing. Just figure out who you are. Be you. Right? Stop being if you're somebody that has to wear a mask, right? 63 recently found out that I have autism, right? And on the spectrum. And there's a thing called masking, right? So a lot of people don't know because I do a lot of masking. I've learned how to kind of be in the world in that way, right? But like if you have to mask who you are to be out in the world, right? To be whatever in your job or something, whatever, right? That's going to be stressful for you. Right? That you can only wear a mask for a certain period of time, right? And then the real you is going to have to come out somehow, right? And it's just going to cause you to be more angry about things, right? Because like, oh, you make me so angry that like, no, it's you. Right? You are the one that is causing you to be angry because you are not saying your truth, right? You're not saying this is what I want. This is what I want, and like. Stop waiting for other people to tell you. Stop waiting for other people to give you permission to go do what you want to do, right? Go and do it. Figure it out, you know? Go to school for something. Figure out who you are. What do you want to do, right? Like, stop waiting for people to tell you, right? If you do not fit into society, right? Society will tell you, oh, you're supposed to be married, you're supposed to have 2.5 kids, right? I don't know what you're doing with the 2.5, right? With that 5, right? Like, you're supposed to be this and do this and do this, right? It's like, if that's not you, don't do it. Stop it. Stop it. Like, be who you are. Be who you want to be. I don't care. Like, this video is really directed at like women, but whoever's watching this, whoever needs to hear this, I don't know who needs to hear this, but whoever's watching this, if you're not happy doing what it is that you're doing, then like stop doing it. Make a different plan. Do something else. Right? This is something that can come up around the ages of like 28, like 45, and like around the age of 56, maybe 15. These are like major turning points in your life, astrologically speaking. 28 is your first Saturn return. 65 is 56 rather. That's like the second Saturn return. And 15, 45, these are like halfway points, right? Multiples of 15, but like really like 28. So there are things connected to Saturn in your chart. And but it could happen at any time, right? Because Saturn will have its way. If Saturn is being activated in your chart, then it's going to cause you to look at the structure of your life and how things are working long term, right? Because Saturn is about time, right? And so it's going to cause you to want to look and check what's happening in your life, if it's having like longevity, if you're questioning if something is going to be working out like long term, then that's probably why this is coming up in your life, right? All this like stress, because it's like it's time to do something different, right? Astrology is just a big clock. So anyway, I may end up doing another video about this or connected to this. But yeah. That's why when I start videos, you'll notice all the videos that I do, it's like breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. I start basically every video with that because I get so angst about like starting the video. It calms my brain, it causes me to decompress, all of that. So all of that. And so yeah. Yeah. I guess we're back in the groove now. We're going to start doing more videos. So good luck with that. Right? Good luck with that. Like I said, I do private readings, one-on-one. The link, you can send me an email. That will be in the information below. Click like, subscribe, share. Tell your friends. If you want to do a Reiki session, we can do that too. If you have things going on, let me know. Yeah. Click like, subscribe, share. Just pull a couple of cards for the day. What else do we need to know about this whole thing? What else do we need to know? Yep. See, first card up is the devil, right? The devil card is all about limitations and restrictions, right? There's self-imposed limitations and restrictions, right? You can see these people, they have these chains around them, right? But they can easily take those chains off, right? The devil card is related to addiction, right? But it's not just like drugs, right? It's like what are you being addicted to, right? Is it drugs? Is it sex? Is it like your job? Is it work? Right? Whatever you're addicted to, right? This is about like getting rid of the chains that are keeping you stifled, right? Next card is the Ace of Wands. This is a time period about new beginnings for you, right? This is a time to aces are about the self, right? You can say this is an olive branch, right? It's a spark of new life, right? It's like telling you that this is time for you to make peace with who you are, for you to look at yourself. Aces are about the self, and you know, it's about new energy trying to flow through you, right? Six of Pentacles, right? The scales, right? Balancing your life. This is a card that has to do with being grateful, right? Alms for the poor, right? It means you're so overflowed, right? That you have that, right? I want to show you something. Oh, where are you? This is interesting. You might like this. I want to show you this other card. I'm from Boston. It's wicked. It's wicked. Yeah. It's wicked cool. It's wicked something. Wicked interesting. Where are you? Come on. All that stuff. Right. So this is the same card. Six of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. So I read different ways depending upon which deck I'm using. Right. In this deck, it's related to gratitude. Right. It's like it's like you have enough that you can have enough to give to somebody else. Right. When I see it come up in this deck, I have started using this as a boardroom. Right, because that's what it looks like. It looks like a boardroom, right? In this deck, it's called Success. It's the Moon and Taurus. Interesting. Taurus is related to creativity. It's about money, finances, stuff like that. The Moon is connected to your emotions, right? But I use this card. It's a lot about a boardroom, right? It's about like your guides being in their boardroom, right? Who the hell is Wendy? Wendy, Simone. Felice, something like that. Whatever. Anyway, this is a boardroom, and so it's like spirit being in the boardroom saying like, what does Wendy need to know for today? What is she trying to accomplish? What is she trying to do, right? Or Felix, or whoever it is that's watching this, right? Stephen, or Max, or whoever's watching this, right? Stefan, maybe not Stephen, Stefan. Anyway, whoever it is that's watching this, right? This is like your guides in the boardroom saying like, well, what does this person need for today, right? What do they need? What are they trying to accomplish? How can we help this person, right? So this is all about spirit telling you that they are there for you, right? That they are here trying to guide you, right? Trying to break the chains that are forcing you to stay in a specific way, helping you to figure out who you are as a person, right? And be more in touch with like your spirit guides, with whoever, right? And success, like, so that you have an ability to be practicing gratitude. Like, what do you, and that may be the thing that you really need to be looking at. What are you grateful for in your life? Right? But yeah, that's interesting. So, yep. Anyway, I had these other 3 cards. There may be some sort of job, right? Ace of Pentacles is usually related to a job, but it could also be related to a relationship. Right? It could also be a relationship, right? When the Ace of Pentacles comes up around relationships, it's usually connected to a marriage, right? But this is some sort of like either a job or something like that. Somebody from your past, right? Could be friends from your past, friends from different jobs, stuff like that. Looking at new people coming in around your life, new friends that are coming in here. That could be leading you to a new job, right? But to me, this makes me feel like there is some sort of a job that you might want to do that's from your past that you weren't doing, right? And if you start looking into that, then you'll see things start going like really quick, right? This is Gemini, which is related to Mercury, and so it is about communication, right? But there's a swiftness related to this, right? So it's telling you really like go after whatever it is, right? But see, this is related to your past. It's related to childhood, right? It can be telling you just like play. Take some time out and play, right? It's also a 6, right? Which is the same thing, right? This is also a 6, right? This is an ace. This is an ace, right? This is new energy. This is new physical beginnings, right? When you're paying attention to what you require spiritually, it's also going to help you physically, right? So, because pentacles are physical, right? It is money, finances, things like that, but it's also like your physical body, right? Pay attention to what you require spiritually, and it will help you physically, right? That's your message for the day. All right. Take care, people. Very good. Thank you. See you.